to feel like it's my responsibility to bring worship to the streets. I'm not reaching everybody, but one of these moments could mean the world to somebody. So this is why we go in the name of Christ the King.
Challenges, going through hills and valleys, and you are a prime candidate that knows life with God, even with God, is not given perfect circumstances, but as I trust him, I have a perfect peace as I go through circumstances. Circumstances ain't too big when God is big, right? When your God is little, your circumstances make you scared to death. But when your God towers over circumstances, you watch him whoop circumstances on your behalf, it gives you faith and even the audacity to tell other people God will do it for you too. To help other people get pulled into a posture of faith. A posture of faith is I'm taking steps into my future. I'm walking into the unknown, but I know I'm not walking by myself. I'm trying stuff that's difficult. I'm going through things that seem like it don't want to let the door open for me to get through it, but I'm not going to this door by myself. I feel like I'm being sent to this door. And if this is the door I'm supposed to get through, if there's something on the other side God has for me, I'm just going to believe God and walk through the door. Some of us hold ourselves back from getting the things God wants us to have because we waiting on God to just let it drop on us. No, God says if you believe me, you better get on up and get moving towards it. And I will work with you as you go, but belief got to drive us to chase what God is having us chase after. This first passage sets a foundation that after the resurrection of Christ, there's some things now to be done. The church now is called into a new place now. We're not looking just at Christ trying to discern who he is. After the resurrection, God is now revealing to us fully who he is. He is made known. Even the disciples didn't fully get all the stuff he was saying until after the resurrection. Stuff he was saying to them, he said, you'll understand this better later on because I got to do the work. And just think, we're thinking about somebody who he's going to go to death and overcome it is what he's saying. We wouldn't believe that either. We haven't seen it. We just haven't seen it. We don't know what that looks like. But he had to show them that I am the one that can conquer death, and which gave who he was whole nother meaning. You not just a man doing miracles. You God in the flesh. You are the Son of God who came down to set the captive. You're the one we've been waiting on. And so now, just think about it. That had to get real to them because, listen, they spent the rest of their lives to tell other people about what Jesus had done. They gave themselves, listen, to the will of God. They gave themselves. The king didn't just reign out there as the King of Kings, but the king began to reign in here. And now he begins to lead me now, not just heaven. No, he's leading me now to begin to be the person he's called and created me to be. And that's what God's goal is. Jesus rises up in Matthew 28, 16 through 20. We know this as the Great Commission. He said, now the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain which Jesus had designated. And when they saw him, they worshiped him, but some doubted that it was really he. Jesus came up and said to them, all authority, all power of absolute rule in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. Help the people to learn of me, believe in me, and obey my words. You see the command he's given to his people? For those who know he's alive and well. Those who have the witness now that Christ has conquered my sin. He overcame death and the grave. He has been approved of by God. And now through him, I now have access and fellowship to God. Sonship comes upon me because the Son did what the Father wanted to do in a perfect way. And through faith in him, all of them blessings are ours. That's the gift of the resurrection. The resurrection says the mission has been accomplished. God has done what he sent Christ to do. Remember, Christ said, it is finished. And what was it that needed to be finished? Meaning a life lived perfect had to be done and accomplished. A human had to live and honor God's will so that therefore there will be a way for other humans to be acceptable. That's what it is. We get saved by faith in Christ. He lived the life we were supposed to live. This is how he becomes a great high priest. And then he dies the death that we deserve, thereby saying everything we owed God, he has paid for it. And now through faith, we get adopted into the family. And now God is for us and not against us. We can't do that on our own. But the thing is, sometimes that just stays mental information. And I push that information about how I get to heaven. No, I'm saying no, it's that information that's supposed to overwhelm us right now that you begin to say, God, for the rest of my life now, I want to serve you. I want to live for you. I'm not just waiting till I got a ticket to get into heaven. That's not what this is about. This is about the King who died and rose, now rises in us and begins to live through us to use us to get his will done. Does anybody want to be used by God? I've learned there's no greater feeling than that. I've had other people use me before. It don't feel good. And I know it now. I feel it and it feel bad. I feel bad when I let them do that to me. But to have God use you, it actually help make you feel good. I've been thinking about my life and how God will give you what you were always looking for in a certain sense. Meaning, I was chasing a football platform. My goal was to go play pro football. I was part of a team. It just made me alive. I'm trying to do things and shine at my position and let everybody. I'm a part of the team. I'm gonna do my part, right? And so God said, I see all of that, but I didn't build that spirit in you for that team. I built that same spirit for you to be on my team so that you would now be in the body of Christ, encouraging your brothers and your sisters to play this game. That everybody is running their race, doing their play for the glory of God, and now we all working together. So I still feel the same way right now. I feel like I'm on the field for the Lord right now, doing what God has called me to do. And I used to be a cornerback. When I think about it, I was on the corner defending territory. Now I'm on the corner defending territory. Doing what God told me to do. And so as God says, I'll give you what you were looking for, it just ain't gonna come in the form that you may have been trying to chase. God is able to give you things if you get your eyes on him, and he'll give you, listen to what he wants to give us though, satisfaction in our lives. At the end of my life, he don't want me to feel like it was a wasted life, because when he first called me from that to come with him, I thought I was losing. It felt like it was an uneven exchange. It's almost like, God, why you can't let me do that? I was going to say I would try to be good, but he said, no, I got something greater I want to use your life for. And part of what it says to me is this: if you really going to follow me, you'll be willing to lose whatever you got to lose to walk with me. That was my challenge. That was my test. Remember, he came and pulled up on Abraham and said, come to a place that I will show you. The only promise he had was, that's God talking to me. I don't know where he's going to take me, but I'm willing to follow him to see. And he said, God is saying, I guarantee you at the end of that life, that's not going to be a wasted life. When you look back over your life and see what you had to go through to stay in the will of God, to fulfill the plan of God, and even though you had to go through challenges, you still had pressures, but at the end of it, what God will say to you is, didn't I carry you all the way through it? There's moments in my journey that I wish didn't happen, challenges I get put in, but in those challenges, in those moments, God gets realer than he's ever been before. This is how we know God is with us, because in our challenges, he draws near. Even before he fixes the challenge, he'll let you know you're not by yourself. I got you. He has a way to speak to us that allows us to see I'm not alone. So Jesus shows up and said, all power and authority is in my hands. Now, you know you want to be on the side of the one who got all the power, and the one who got the final say, the one who the King of Kings, the one who reigns, and can't nobody go against what he says. You might be able to stop me, but you can't stop him. I was telling y'all before, you know how you feel when you got backup. You're not by yourself. When you by yourself, you're a little quiet. You ain't going to say too much, do too much. But when your people's with you, you're a little louder. And we got Jesus with us. And so we should be living loud in this world, doing what God called us to do, because we're not by ourselves. Oh, what a blessing. So he says, I have all power and authority in my hands. Ephesians begins to give us a step into this King rising up in us. Ephesians chapter 3 says this: may he grant you, this is a prayer, may he grant you out of the riches of his glory to be strengthened and spiritually energized with power through his spirit in your inner self, indwelling your innermost being and person. They say, I pray that God rise up in you. I pray that God will get in you and begin to give you power and energy and help you see yourself, even in the face of things that are challenging you or things that look like you're going to lose, to not go by what you see, but go by what you believe. That's what walking by faith is. I mean, y'all, just the story of the little engine that could. He was going through it, but he kept telling himself, but I think I can. I know the problem is there, but I think I can get through it. I know the class is hard, but I think if I do it again, I think I'll pass that. So whatever it is, I have to say I'm not alone. God is with me, and if I put my energy on it, I'm expecting God to rise up in